What's up, guys? This is Storm, back again with another video. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about what I noticed while watching the NBA Finals. So, I like basketball. I like sports in general. Um, Watching sports for me is fun. Now, since I also like my time and I like being able to have time to do things that I believe are important to me, I don't have much time to watch sports very often. Usually, for the NBA at least, what I would do is wait until the game was finished and then go on YouTube and watch the full game highlights. That way, I could get an idea of what happened in the game as opposed to having to spend 3 hours watching the game on TV live. Now, with the NBA Finals, obviously, there's more of me that wants to actually watch the full game and get the full experience of the game to see, what happens real time. Also, the less chance of the game getting spoiled as well. Now, what I noticed from watching the NBA Finals, and I guess I've been far removed enough from television in general to where now when I go back to it, I really notice it. But what I noticed about the NBA Finals was not actually the game itself, but more so what happened and what I saw in the commercials, in the commercial breaks for the game, I should say. So here's what I noticed. Now, first thing I noticed was that commercials tend to be of a couple of different categories. The first category of commercial that I saw was a commercial for movies. Movies in cinema, movies coming out soon, movies in general. The next thing that I noticed was commercials for cars. The next thing that I noticed was commercials for food, aka fast food, more often than not, fast food. And then there's commercials for beer or alcohol in general. And then finally, there was commercials for more TV, aka TV series, things that are coming out soon, network-specific things, etc. Right? Those five things, those five categories were the categories that I saw the most of when it came to ads. In some commercial breaks, there was two ads for movies or maybe two ads for food, so on and so forth. Right? Now, in the past, growing up, everyone knows that when the commercials come on, you stop paying attention. You stop paying attention, you go on your phone, you stop paying attention, you go in the kitchen, you try to make something real quick in the commercial breaks so that you can come back when the commercials are over and be able to continue with your show. Now, when I actively watch commercials, it's interesting because you're seeing the patterns when you're actively paying attention to them. You're actively seeing that I'm being shown alcohol at every commercial break. I'm being shown fast food every commercial break. I'm being shown an advertisement for a car every commercial break. I'm being shown advertisements for TV every commercial break, and I'm being shown advertisements for movies every commercial break. It's like clockwork. But when you're not paying attention to commercials is I think when they're the most influential. When you're focusing on your phone, when you're making food in the other room, but you're still hearing the commercials, they're getting deeper into your subconscious as opposed to you consciously paying attention to them. Because if you consciously pay attention to commercials, then you'll kind of know like which things that you would resonate with doing and which things you wouldn't resonate with doing. For instance, if I see a commercial for a movie that I want to see, I would say, okay, consciously, I want to see that movie. Nothing wrong with that. But if I hear a commercial for a movie that I haven't seen, or if I hear a commercial for alcohol or beer, or I'm looking at a commercial without actually paying attention to it, that's when it's getting programmed into my subconscious. And again, if you haven't watched my video about human programming and how we're all 3D computer programs, go watch that video. It'll explain this a little bit more. But what's interesting is that when you think back to the things that people are very, 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 very attached to in this world, They are food, aka fast food, food that's prepared on the outside, fast food, alcohol, material things in general. The biggest one, I guess, being cars. But I mean, cars are a little bit different because you can make the argument that you need a car, but the biggest ones for me that really kind of bother me are the commercials for food and the commercials for alcohol. Now, if you go watch my video on why alcohol is bad for you or the truth about alcohol, then you'll understand why, or you'll understand how sinister it really is to advertise alcohol on a regular basis. Because people don't want Corona because it tastes delicious and it's good for them and it's awesome. People want Corona because they're subconsciously programmed to associate summertime with Coronas. They're subconsciously programmed to associate good times, smiling people, laughing faces with Coronas, with beers, right? But consciously, we know that beer has empty calories. Consciously, we know that beer will make you fat. If you watch my video on alcohol, consciously, you know that beer will basically eat away at your muscle tissues, and as will other alcohol as well. And consciously, we know that fast food isn't good for us. But yet, we see fast food advertised, and we subconsciously want fast food. We subconsciously decide, oh, what are we gonna eat today? And we decide between McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, or Taco Bell. And we're subconsciously deciding based on whatever ads we're seeing the most of in that particular point in time. The other sinister thing about food commercials, which is interesting, is that the food that's advertised, I don't know if you know this, but the food that's advertised isn't actually real food. The food that's advertised in the commercial that's actually filmed, the food items, they're fake. Go look this up. Google this. They don't use real food items to advertise. They use fake food items. Those food items that they advertise with are not edible food items. So now they're showing you things that are inedible, and they're programming you to want to go buy those things that aren't, the things that you're buying aren't even actually the representations of the things that you're seeing on the advertisements. Yet you're craving those things and you're wanting to buy those things. That's why when you go to the Burger King or McDonald's and you buy that burger that you saw in the commercial, when you open it up, it's all smushed and doesn't look anything like the burger that you saw. But you're still gonna eat it because you paid for it, and you'll probably like it because you're subconsciously programmed to like it, and you know they have addictive ingredients in there as well. So you'll probably enjoy it, and you'll probably go on to the next one that you see when you see it. So the biggest thing that I noticed when I was watching the NBA Finals was the fact that the commercials that we're seeing on a daily basis follow a very specific pattern. And this pattern of advertisement really fuels a lot of our consumption behavior and a lot of our behavior in general without us even realizing. So even if you hate commercials, just understand that they're still affecting you in exactly the way that they want to affect you. But yeah, that's it for this video. This is the video on basically what I noticed when I was watching the NBA Finals. It wasn't anything having to do with the game itself, but more so having to do with the commercials and having to do with what happens when you actually pay very close attention to the commercials and try this yourself. The next sporting event you watch, look at the commercials that you see. There are going to be commercials for food, commercials for alcohol, commercials for movies or other entertainment, commercials for more TV, and then maybe occasionally you'll see a commercial that's related to sports or something like that. But usually it's going to be food, beer, entertainment, more TV, and movies. So that's it for this video. That's what I noticed when I was watching the NBA Finals. Commercials are very sinister, and they're controlling you more than you know. But until next time, this is Storm, and peace.